Hello and welcome back to the Peppermint channel. Today we're making chorizo con huevos. Chorizo con huevos. Chorizo with eggs. I looked up a recipe for it. We're going to try it out and then I'm going to try adding a little ghost pepper to it and see how the flavor combinations work. Should be good. Let's get started. First things first, I'm going to use about 1/4 of an onion in this. And just like that, the onion is cut. So now we're going to take the onion and put it in this receptacle here. Best I can with one hand, I guess. Pretty good though, look at that. I might be the next Iron Chef. Oh, that was terrible. Getting cocky, kid. There we go. Yeah, clean counter, good deal. Onions. For this recipe, we'll be using onions. Like I said, 1/4 of a white onion, 4 eggs, I don't know, cup or more cheese. Can't ever have too much of that. 1 ghost pepper and chorizo sausage. So on the stove, I'll be getting a pan ready on medium to high heat. I'm gonna add butter. Some people can add oil. You can add oil or butter. I use butter on most things I cook, so I'm gonna use butter. Get it over medium-high heat, and then begin to add my ingredients. The chorizo first, cooking the chorizo, then adding the onion towards the middle of the cooking to saute. Then we'll go eggs, then cheese, and then I'll separate out my portion and add the ghost pepper, just so no one else has to try to eat that. All right, now I'll just add a pat of butter here to the pan, in the pan, cook in the pan, knife dirty. So we'll turn the light on here so we can see. We'll let that pan just cook up a little bit, get a little oily, do a little Swedish chef action. Now we're gonna add the chorizo to it. Now that I got the pan a little degreased or greased. Add the chorizo. Chorizo is a spiced, I call it sausage, but it's a spiced meat product. Got a lot of spice to it, so a little bit does it. Whatever you're adding it to, I just use a little bit. I only use half the package on this one. If you use too much, it will overpower everything, and it'll taste like a hot sausage kind of deal. So then I'm gonna break this all apart, let it start cooking down. It should start cooking down and becoming really fine. So we'll let that cook, and then I'll add the onions after I cook it for a while. As the chorizo cooks, you'll see it start breaking down into smaller pieces. There'll be a lot of oil that's produced from this, so if you get too much oil, you can already dump some out. I'm gonna go ahead and add my onions now. I like my onions extra sauteed, so I'm gonna go ahead and add those in there. Let's go watching it simmer. A little splash of that action. That's just a 1/4 cup too, nothing crazy. I mean, just 1/4 of a whole onion, not a 1/4 cup. A 1/4 of a whole onion. Might be a half cup. Now we just let those cook in. I like a rough chop, so that's why I cut my onions a little bigger. I like them to hold up stronger to the heat and take a little longer to saute. That's also why I'm adding them early. So now I'm just gonna saute this for a while. Let it cook. Saute it. Until that seasoning's extra thick, so everything's getting a nice red tone to it because of the very spices in this. So now in a large glass, I'm going to start breaking the eggs into here, as so. Just like that. I'll do that for the rest of them. I'm gonna lightly season them. The chorizo has a ton of seasoning, so if you put too much salt and pepper in them, you're gonna have just one salty, gross mess. So very light amount of salt, a little bit more pepper, because you can always add more pepper, especially on the Peppermint channel. More pepper is always good. So, but just keep the salt light for your health and well-being of most of your diners. So now I've got the eggs in the cup. I'm just gonna add some pepper. We'll do a little bit of that. But you'll notice when I put in the salt, No more salt. Too much salt, gross. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add these to the chorizo. It's starting to really simmer up here. Starting to really get cooked and separate. I'm also gonna reduce the heat dramatically. Let's take this. I'm gonna reduce the heat down here to low, like really low. I don't like to cook eggs on too high of heat. And then I'm gonna swirl around and mix the seasonings around and just dump the eggs in here, that's all. Well, as it cooks, the eggs will, combine with the chorizo and then get better. There you go. How to get an eggshell out. Don't want any eggshells. So now I'm gonna mix everything together and let it cook. It looks like there's a lot more eggs for chorizo. That's okay. I want the chorizo to season and flavor the eggs, not become the primary part of the dish. The eggs should be the primary part of the dish on this one. So I'm gonna let this cook a little bit. Let it build up almost like an omelet with scrambled eggs. Yeah, right there. So we'll slice this one up. I'm gonna mix it throughout my food. Clean it up now. I've cut that up into almost a garnish. I'll just put that over the top, mix it in with my eggs, and eat. It's gonna be a lot, so it's gonna be a lot of heat on these eggs, but the eggs should cut the heat, and then I'll have toast as well. Back over to the stove here. Here's what the eggs are looking like. Low heat. I put really low heat, so they're cooking underneath. They're not so much cooking on top. I almost want a scrambled egg. I'm looking for. I'll actually crank the heat a little bit more now. I turned it up a little bit before, but I'll turn it up even more to let the eggs fully cook. After they cook and they're fully cooked, I will add cheese to them and the peppers as garnish. Cheese to mine, no peppers to anybody else who doesn't want them, which will be 90% of the people you're cooking for. They don't want ghost peppers on anything. So now we're almost at the end of cooking this. This is what it should look like. The eggs are going to be a reddish color from all the seasonings from the chorizo. I'm going to go ahead and add my cheddar cheese. How much is up to you? I just want to coat it right now. I'm going to stir it around and add the rest. So I get a little bit in there mixed around, and that melts and combines with the eggs, makes it creamier, cheesier. And also dilutes any of the over flavoring of the chorizo. Cheddar will help do that. So I'm gonna keep it warming up, keep it cooking. And then when I get done, we'll plate it up. And here's what mine looks like when done. So garnished with some ghost pepper, cheddar cheese, and then on the chorizo con huevos underneath. Welcome back. Here we are in the Peppermint channel. We just made chorizo con huevos. That is chorizo sausage, eggs. I put a little onion in there, sauteed onion. Really no seasoning because the chorizo seasoned most of it. I garnished mine with a single ghost pepper. But first I'm going to try the actual chorizo con huevos.
How does it taste, Dad? Does it taste good or bad?
Good. Very good. Now I'm going to try it with some ghost pepper.
We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
If you cry, I'm not there to help you. Yeah. Gulp it down with some toast. And then you have water right there.
Very hot, but it complements the chorizo very nicely. Thank you. This has been Chorizo con huevos on Peppermint channel. Bon appetit.